Moments ago, this ship received word of a Cylon attack against our home worlds is underway. How, why, doesn't really matter now. What does matter is that as of this moment, we are at war.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Riles YouTube, where today we're going to talk about Battlestar Galactica. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get this party started. I want to read this. When an old enemy, the Cylons, resurface and obliterate the 12 colonies, the crew of the aged Galactica protect a small civilian fleet, the last of humanity, as they journey toward the fabled 13th colony Earth. The Cylons have risen up against their human creators, the people of the 12 colonies of Cobol, with the intention of wiping out the human race. After a surprise attack, they nearly succeed in this aim. Only about 50,000 humans remain. Okay, so there's all this craziness. So if you know me, you know that I like nostalgia and I like science fiction, or at least you would know that if you've seen my Stargate episode. If you haven't, go check that out right now and come right on back to this video. So basically, Battlestar Galactica is about this fleet of humans that has one military vessel that escape these 12 planets that just got wiped out by the Cylons, which are robots that were created by the humans that rebelled against their creators. They have left in search of Earth, the 13th mythical legendary planet that they don't even know if it exists, but they're hoping it'll be their salvation. And so we're going to watch a couple videos. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see what the top 10 Battlestar Galactica episodes are in this video that I have pulled up right now. And let's see if I remember any of them or not. And we're going to talk about it. The other thing is, I only got to see like 3 seasons of Battlestar Galactica. I never got the chance to watch season 4, so I do not know if they ever made it to Earth. But if it is revealed in this episode that they are made it to Earth, well, that sucks for me. If there's spoiler alerts, well, if you haven't watched Battlestar Galactica, don't watch this unless you want to be spoiled, which is fine by me, but if you don't want to be spoiled, then don't watch it. But let's see what we got going on in the top 10 Battlestar Galactica episodes right now.
In no particular order, 33. The inaugural episode of the first full season after the miniseries is a brilliant exercise in tension. On the run from the Cylons, the fleet comes under repeated attack every 33 minutes exactly. Sleep-deprived and overworked, those in the fleet attempt to figure out how they are being tracked before they are destroyed. The viewer really feels the predicament of the characters here, constantly on edge as the Cylons could be just around the next corner. Quickly, a pattern of space combat, jumps, and exhaustion sets in, breaking with the mysterious loss and then reappearance of the Olympic carrier. BSG's moral grayness rears its head here when the viewer and characters are left in the dark as to if the Olympic carrier really is under Cylon control, or if hundreds of innocent people are about to be put to their deaths.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I remember that one at all,
only to be thrust
but
into another,
I'm sure it shows some interesting battles and stuff that goes on.
For key characters. 6 degrees of separation. After an argument with 6, Baltar is shocked
oh my
when the
gosh,
same
yes.
model of...
So basically, Cylons are mostly robots, but they have like human versions of them too. There's like not a lot of the human versions, but there's like a lot of each version. Like there's clones of all of them. This one's number 6, and I think she's my favorite of the Cylons at the very least. I don't know if she's my favorite character, but she probably is. But basically, the guy on the right, his name is Gaius Baltar, and he was like a rich person on Caprica, and she helped him escape or something. I'm not 100% certain with my memory on that. He might have like helped her maybe. But basically once he leaves, she goes away or something, and then he starts seeing like visions or hallucinations, or maybe she's connected to him somehow. But he starts seeing her everywhere and nobody else can see her. But in this episode, she comes aboard the Battlestar Galactica and starts accusing him of being a Cylon. But he's like, but she's a Cylon. Like, what the heck? But if he gets caught, he could be exposed for everything he's done, not just being connected to her. But, like, we're going to see what happens.
appears on Galactica, pretending to be a person named Shelley Godfrey, who accuses him of being a Cylon collaborator. This places Baltar in a difficult position as he knows she is a Cylon, but of course he can't say how he knows this. Soon he is forced into a mad cat-and-mouse game as he maneuvers to prove his innocence and expose Godfrey, while also keeping his actual crimes a secret. Despite a disturbing lack of moral fiber, Gaius Baltar is probably my favorite character in the show. James Callis' stellar performance perfectly captures the conniving, desperate drive for survival, while also maintaining a welcome sense of humor. On the one hand, the viewer wants Baltar to be captured and punished for his crimes, but on the other hand, his amusing and charming persona make him quite likable at the same time. A great peek into the inner workings of such a deranged mind, and a fun story for Callis to steal the show from all the other cast members. The Hand of God. With an essential fuel running out, Galactica makes a choice to turn back and make a daring raid on a Cylon facility in order to acquire the fuel they need. With Starbuck out of commission, it's up to Lee Adama to lead the Viper squadrons while Kara remains frustrated in the war room.
Lee Adama is the son of the commander, so like there's an interesting complex relationship between that, because like is he supposed to be the next commander, or is he like not fit to be the next commander? And then Kara, I think she's my favorite character actually. Kara, yeah, she's badass.
Perfect encapsulation of the military drama aspect of the reboot style. It's a simple story but a well-oiled machine. As the battle to come is intricately planned, characters battle their own personal struggles, which all come together in the finale of the episode, with just enough surprises and twists to keep the audience on their toes. The Hand of God is a good jumping-on point for newcomers to get what the show is about. Final cut. I really need to make another Babylon 5 video so I can mention "and now for a word." But luckily Battlestar Galactica has its own version. Journalist Dana Beers comes aboard Galactica to investigate an incident from a previous episode being dubbed the Gideon Massacre. When Adama gives her free rein to make a more balanced report, we get to see life on Galactica through a fresh medium.
I feel like I kind of remember this, but at the same time it's like foggy in my mind.
Lens. This is another episode which really gets to the heart of the show's themes, a nuanced look at humanity and its struggles. We get to learn some new things about several supporting characters through frank interviews, driven by Lucy Lawless injecting an enjoyable personality into her character. But then again, when doesn't she? It's always good to see what we're familiar with in the show from another perspective, as our foreknowledge of the characters is expanded upon by their encounter with an outsider. And although the reveal of Beers as a Cylon is easy to see coming, the main story and its results are fascinating.
She looks so
intimate.
familiar though.
Pegasus. Against all odds, Galactica finds the only other surviving Battlestar, the Pegasus. But as both crews join forces, they discover some disturbing differences.
Oh yeah, I definitely remember this episode where they find a second Battlestar and it's like Pegasus or something. But like the bitch that runs it is like literally like so cruel or something, and then they have to fight her.
Is in, let's say, command philosophy. It's interesting to note the bias Dana Beers had against the Galactica crew in Final Cut, and then see just how far things have gone for the Pegasus crew. The numerous revelations of how Admiral Kane treats her own crew, let alone the horrifying acts committed against Number 6 Gina, will shock an audience to their core. And the short-lived catharsis of Adama finally saying enough is enough and launching Vipers against Pegasus leaves the episode...
I might actually have to find a way to watch this again, because I honestly really loved this show.
On an incredible cliffhanger. An awesome setup for a story which continues in Resurrection Ship Parts 1 and 2. The standoff between Galactica and Pegasus is interrupted when Starbuck returns with intel on the Resurrection Ship, a ship which allows humanoid Cylons to download into and reincarnate after death. Kane and Adama form...
Oh yeah. That really puts a wrench in things. Where it's like, you kill the human Cylon, but they just come right back. And it's in the middle of the battle between the two ships.
An uneasy truce in order to destroy the Resurrection Ship, hoping the threat of permanent death will halt the Cylon pursuit. All of the nail-biting story threads and thematic questions raised in Pegasus are capitalized on in this two-parter, but with more spectacle. With Starbuck slowly coming to understand Kane as a leader, Adama seeking advice from Sharon, Baltar sympathizing with Gina, and the dual assassination plots, coupled with Lee's near-death experience, make this a dense and thrilling two-part story. The gorgeous choreography of the stellar space battle, driving the difficult personal subplots to come to an end, is a real edge-of-your-seat stuff, with constant victories and reversals to keep the audience guessing. By the time it's all over, you'll need one hell of a tea break. Downloaded. As Sharon's baby is born aboard the Galactica, we jump across space to Caprica and follow Caprica 6 as she settles with the Cylons on the occupied world. Something which really bugged me about the plan was how we got all of the nitty-gritty of the plot from the Cylon perspective, but none of the thematic or personal perspectives. Downloaded succeeds where the plan failed by following Caprica 6 and the fascinating appearance of her own head Boltar. As 6 struggles to find her place in this new Cylon society with Boomer and their conflict with the number 3, we come to understand far more about the Cylons in these 45 minutes than in the entire 90-minute runtime of the plan. A central conceit of the show is just how similar humans and Cylons actually are, and the illogical, contradictory nature of the Cylon belief system conveys just as much nuance and personal character investment as does following the Colonial Fleet. And all of this is acted wonderfully by Helfer.
Okay, I feel like he just contradicted himself because he said that they didn't really get to explore the Cylons as much as he wanted them to, and then he said, oh, but we get a full character development. Like, what do you mean?
Lawless and Callous, who does exceptionally well embodying the angelic-like quality of Baltar's own Head 6. With antagonists just as compelling as the show's protagonists, the thematic foundations of the series are explored and built upon in a brilliant way. Exodus Parts 1 and 2. Season 3 was when the writing of BSG began to dip slightly, but it kicked off in spectacular fashion with the new Caprica arc. After months of oppressive occupation, Adama and the Resistance finally launched their Operation...
Oh yeah, so I guess this is like after they land on a certain random planet and they're like, okay, I guess we're just gonna live here now instead of go look for Earth, because whatever. But honestly, I feel like that wasn't the best part of the show, because like why would you just abandon your hope? But they might have had to do it, I don't know.
To liberate their surviving colonists from the planet. Much like the Resurrection Ship 2-part, the rip-roaring action is simply bolstered by the conclusion to so many beautifully woven character arcs, the most heartbreaking of which being Ty's killing of his own wife for betraying the Resistance. Michael Hogan's performances in later BSG were altogether brilliant, and the gut-wrenching scene of celebration for Adama while Ty watches on, a broken man, is enough to catapult this episode onto the list. Although the sacrifice of the Pegasus is a shame and tactically not very smart, the ultimate battle itself is one of the best in sci-fi television, with the Adama maneuver acting as the show-stopping set piece. Although the middle of Season 3 becomes flabby and meandering, this episode marks the end of a great first story arc, Crossroads. New Caprica kicks the season off in spectacular fashion. Crossroads ends the season.
Okay, so now it's going to get into Season 4, I guess. So I don't really know much about Season 4 because I never watched it. So let's see if there's anything else to look at. Well, it says this is where you can watch it. Amazon Prime Video, which I bet you... I mean, I already pay for Amazon Prime, so I bet you I could watch it. The other ones, though, YouTube from $1.99 is probably $1.99 per episode, so don't go to YouTube or Fandango. But if you got Amazon Prime, see if you can watch it, and I'm probably gonna see if I can watch it tonight, because I love this show and I need to watch Season 4. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Go to my Twitter, Donnie65. Go to my subreddit, Riled Up Creative Streak. Enjoy watching this if you do watch it, and have a great rest of your day or night. Bye!
About my story, it's special and precious. This tale of my glory. We've stuck together since we were babies. We've shared what's there inside our heart. Yeah, every single day. Let's talk about all the things that we have been waiting for. Let me hear those magic words. Walking, yeah, yeah.